and I'm here. Wait. David, I'm learning. I only see him once a year.
Just here, really. I like out to the US a couple of times each year, but yeah, Gen Con, always here.
Yeah. And we're at the Hawk Wargames booth at, as he said, Gen Con, and we're going to talk about stuff. Good stuff. Like an unnamed spaceship game that I think you might be able to see, but I got plenty of pictures on Facebook. I got their beast of a ship. Grab the ship.
Grab the ship. I can't grab it. It's all balanced really carefully. The weight is really heavy. We got a big spaceship up there. You put some pictures in.
Oh, I got, that's about 2 meters.
Yeah, well,
no, about a meter. About a meter.
It's a pretty big. We were going to bring the really big ship, the Avenger, the 3 meter long one. But in the end, we had to leave it in the UK because it was just we couldn't risk shipping it here because the thing's got like 6,000 pieces
in customs. I mean,
yeah, in customs too.
You know,
but yeah, we got a lot of new stuff out here at Gen Con that we're showing off that no one's seen before. Some more stuff about Drop Fleet as well.
Oh, it is Drop Fleet.
It's Drop Fleet. Yeah, but it's been like
my name.
It's been called the forum and like the players and the fans have been calling it Drop Fleet all year, and now it's Drop Fleet. It's kind of just become Drop Fleet.
Drop Fleet.
And it makes sense. Drop Zone, Drop Fleet. You know, it's just a logical thing.
There's about 15 models here for Drop Fleet. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes,
and they've got some new Scourge models and
yeah, all the Scourge cruisers they've never before been seen. The UCM stuff we show off at Salute and on the newsletter. So
that was at Origins as well.
Yeah, and they were Origins too. So people have probably seen those, but no one's seen the Scourge cruisers yet.
Well, I was referring to the other Scourge, the Drop Zone models now.
The Drop Zone models, yeah. There's a load of new releases for Drop Zone.
Oh,
for all five factions.
I cannot believe how good that stuff looks so small. But anyway, back to Drop Fleet. What are the core mechanics of the game?
Okay, so Drop Fleet is, first off, it's an orbital combat game. It's not a fleet game. So it's played above a planet. So instead of your table being a star field, it's actually a chunk of planet. So think of a 4x4 table as being about the size of Spain, roughly. So that's your board. You can actually see a planet's surface with mountains and all that kind of thing. And you got cities, so you put your,
so you're like,
so it's really different from other spaceship games. It's a completely different thing. It's an orbital combat game. So you have cities down there, and you've got to drop troops in those cities, capture them, destroy them. Orbital bombardment is a big thing. Orbital layers as well, so you've got 3 layers: high atmo, low atmo, orbit. High orbit, low orbit, atmo. I was up till 1 painting a big spaceship last night, so it's not been
chemicals.
Again, every time. Caffeine, it's fine. So only a few ships can go in atmosphere, like strike carriers. Generally, the bigger ships, if they say lose their engines, they start to decay orbital layers and they burn up if they hit atmosphere. So atmo is best like thinking it a bit like submarine warfare. So if they're in atmo, they're very hard to shoot because you're firing through soup.
Okay, so you got this logistics problem of putting Spain on the table. How do you do that?
Well, there'll be maps, so they'll all be available as either printed or rollout.
What if you don't want to buy them?
You can make your own. You go on Google Earth, print off a chunk of planet Earth if you like.
See,
that'll work.
He's telling you how to cheat.
Yeah, you do that. You do what you like. You draw your own, spray paint your own planet. It's easily done. There'll be a few guides for stuff like that if I get my way and if I get time. So you make a planet surface. You've got cities that'll be punch-out tokens or resin relief cities that you put down. That's generally most of the scenery. There aren't that many line-of-sight blocking things around. The shooting mechanics are very innovative. There's shooting works. So every ship has a scan range, which is how good your scanners are. Then the enemy ship has a signature. The bigger the ship, the bigger the signature. So big fatty dreadnoughts have got an enormous signature, like 12, and little tiny frigates have got a tiny one, like 2. Then there's other factors. So if you fire all your weapons, you gain energy spikes. So if you gain energy spikes, the enemy has more range because they can detect you from further away. So find your range, you add all 3 of those numbers together, and then you get the range. So there's a lot of like turn 1, turn 2, there's a lot of silent running, which reduces your signature to nothing. So you're carefully silent running, you can't shoot when you do that. and then suddenly you're in position and weapons free. Everything's out, you light up like a Christmas tree and everything can shoot you. And there's fighters, there's bombers, there's torpedoes, there's dropships, bulk landers.
So in the initial release, how many models are you projecting?
There's going to be a 2-player starter set. That will be, this is going to be a Kickstarter, by the way, that's going to launch in November.
Oh, awesome.
There'll be a 2-player starter set, very much like Drop Zone's 2-player starter set. So you'll get a full fleet, a good starter fleet for Scourge and UCM in there. You'll get a map to play on. You'll get the rulebook. You'll get all the tokens and everything you need, and dice and things like that. So a proper starter set, just like Drop Zone's one. There'll be single army fleets as well, so you can buy UCM starter fleet, Scourge, PHR, Shaltari starter fleet. The Resistance don't have a fleet because they don't have the resources to have a whole fleet. They're not a playable faction. They will have a few ships, but they're mainly for objectives and scenarios rather than for actual gameplay. Then there'll be things like battleships, dreadnoughts and stuff, which will be blisters that you get afterwards. The cruiser design, the reason we're going Kickstarter is because we want to go plastic from day one. Because we've been through the whole resin starter thing with Drop Zone when we launched originally, and it's very expensive to do resin. Ultimately, it costs a lot, it costs the players a lot. You know, it's great for the bigger ships and for specialist models, but it's not so good for the bulk of your army. You really want plastic for the bulk, which is where we want to go, but plastic's very expensive to tool, so Kickstarter, essentially. So beyond that, there's going to be the 4 factions on there. You know, we haven't yet pinned down all our stretch goals and plans and everything, but that will come out closer to the time when we launch.
Oh yeah, you've been too busy getting ready for Gen Con.
A lot of the models will be available retail only, because this Kickstarter isn't going to be an ongoing thing for us. It's just to launch the product, and then from that point on, it goes full retail like everything else we sell. And new releases will go straight to retail. There's not going to be we're not going to do everything we do on Kickstarter. This is just a special case that we really want to go straight to plastic with these. It means we can do a lot of cool stuff, like the cruiser sprue, say, for the Scourge. It's going to be able to build something like 36 different ships. There won't be rules for 36 different ships. There'll be about 12 cruiser classes that you can build that are legitimately in the rules, but it's a very flexible kit with a lot of combinations because it's modular, and that's great to do in plastic and not so good to do in resin. So, you know, courses to courses.
You know, so what is anything releasing here at the show?
Not for Drop Fleet, but there's a lot of stuff for Drop Zone out here.
So first time ever?
Yeah, first time ever, yeah. We have a lot of codes that are out. Some of them are out in a couple of days. Officially, the weekend is the launch day for our next wave of infantry codes. But there are
so all the infantry that I saw?
Yeah, so a lot of them in there. We haven't got every single one. It was literally a case of what we could make in time for Gen Con, because these have been pretty close. Like some of these were cast literally days ago.
What is that?
That's the Raider, the big fatty dropship. Oh, sorry, we're filming.
Sorry, it's okay.
Yeah, so the Raider is a dropship for very large Scourge bioconstructs, like the Screamer, which you actually get the blister with it, so you get the Raider and the Screamer together. That's a really annoying, hateable anti-infantry combo, so the dropship is flaming infantry while the Screamer is making them all scream and hide and feel scared. So it's a really horrible, nefarious unit, which is very Scourge.
So with Drop Fleet, you've got the orbital side of it. Are you ever going to take that into outer space?
We may do at some point. I mean, when you build the reason why it's so integrated for orbital is the rule set is designed for orbital. When you build your list, you build in, say, some orbital bombardment ships with that capability, and if you're deep space, then those ships are a bit pointless because you've just got ships that can't shoot anything. So we may end up doing a separate supplementary rule set for deep space the speeds are different as well. If you're in orbit, you're not going that fast, whereas deep space you might be going a decent chunk of light speed, which changes everything when it comes to combat. So it's a fluff thing as well, you know, but it's something that we're looking at, certainly.
So what is the scale of Drop Fleet?
Drop Fleet is 0.1 mil scale. So it's exactly 100 times smaller than Drop Zone.
Say that again, that's what?
0.1 mil scale. Yeah, it's
0.1
0.1.
Oh, okay. So
yeah. So it's 100 times smaller than Drop Fleet, exactly. So if it's 1 mil high in Drop Zone, it's 100 mil in Drop Fleet. So So like a ship that's this big in drop fleet is 3 meters long in drop zone, giving you an idea of how much bigger these things are. I mean, even the small ships are bigger than USS Nimitz, so they're quite big. They're not stupid big as far as sci-fi goes. Is that how you say it? Yeah. So they're not crazy big. Like a dreadnought or a battleship is maybe sort of 4 to 6 inches long. So more like 6 inches long, really. But say an Imperial Star Destroyer would be about 9 inches long in relative size. So it's not like massive mega spaceships. They're huge things, but they're not implausibly huge, I think.
Not like the spaceships from Independence Day.
Oh, well, yeah, they're like city-sized things.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, they're not that.
I mean, a dreadnought is probably like 2 or 3 kilometers long. They're not small, but they're not like, they don't have their own gravity well. It doesn't quite go that far.
Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, keep an eye out for info on the Kickstarter. We're going to talk about it a lot more once we get home. Some of us are staying out here in the US for a bit of R&R after Gen Con.
Oh, where are you going?
We're going to go and drive tanks and shoot guns. Some of our
So that's research.
Totally, completely justifiable. Yeah. So well, we're looking forward to that. Oh, I hate this guy.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
I'll tag along. My dad was a tank.
Oh, nice. What do you drive? 7s?
Yes, 49.
Nice.
In Korea.
Ah, cold.
Cold. Yes, cold.
Cold.
Cold. But thank you.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you guys for watching, and I can't check back soon for their Kickstarter.